Yak-23, known as the Flora, was a straight-wing Soviet jet fighter built in the late 1940s. It utilized a powerful RD-500 engine, giving it superb acceleration. With a top speed of 925 km per hour, it saw wide service. Yak-38 was the Soviet Navy's first operational VTOL strike fighter, debuting in the 1970s on Kiev-class carriers. Powered by a single main engine and 2 lift jets, it flew at Mach 0.95, providing fleet defense. Yak-4 was a twin-engine light bomber and reconnaissance aircraft used by the Soviet Air Force during the early stages of World War II. Upgraded with Klimov engines, it could hit speeds of 530 km per hour on the front lines. Yak-15 ranks among the very first successful Soviet jet fighters, entering service in 1947. Built by adapting a captured turbojet to a modified Yak-3 piston airframe, it achieved 786 km per hour. Yak-52 is a legendary primary trainer aircraft that first flew in 1976. Engineered for rigorous aerobatics, it features a robust radial engine pumping out 360 horsepower. It remains globally popular for pilot training. Yak-130 is an advanced subsonic trainer and light attack jet entering service in 2010. It features a digital glass cockpit to replicate modern fighters. Driven by twin engines, it hits 1,060 km per hour. Yakovlev AIR-6 was a successful 1930s Soviet light utility aircraft. Designed as a high-wing cabin monoplane, it was powered by a reliable 100 horsepower engine. It achieved a speed of 170 km per hour. Yakovlev MC-21 is a modern Russian narrow-body twin-engine airliner designed to challenge global rivals. Featuring advanced composite wings, it cruises at Mach 0.8 and accommodates up to 211 passengers with ease. Yakovlev Pechela is a specialized surveillance drone first deployed in the 1990s. Launched via rocket booster and recovered by parachute, it sends real-time video feeds up to 60 km away at 80 km per hour. Yakovlev SJ-100 is a regional jet airliner revamped to achieve complete Russian import substitution. Relying on indigenous engines, it carries nearly 100 passengers over 3,000 kilometers, cruising smoothly at Mach 0.78. Yakovlev UT-1 was a single-seat trainer aircraft widely utilized by the Soviet Air Force in the late 1930s. Powered by a radial engine, it offered exceptional agility with a top speed of 257 km per hour. Yakovlev UT-2 served as the standard primary trainer for the Soviet Union throughout World War II. This tandem two-seat monoplane relied on a 100 horsepower engine, flying at 210 km per hour to train wartime pilots. Yakovlev UT-3 was a twin-engine trainer built in the late 1930s to prepare bomber crews. Powered by twin engines, it cruised at 260 km per hour. It featured a dedicated greenhouse nose for navigator practice. Yakovlev Yak-1 was a foundational Soviet fighter of World War II, debuting in 1940. Constructed from wood and steel tubing, it utilized a Klimov engine to hit 592 km per hour with excellent agility. Yakovlev Yak-2 was a short-range twin-engine scout and light bomber aircraft deployed in 1940. Driven by dual engines, it reached speeds of 515 km per hour. It saw a brief operational career in World War II. Yakovlev Yak-3 was one of the finest dogfighters of World War II, entering combat in 1944. Highly streamlined and lightweight, its engine propelled it to 655 km per hour for total tactical superiority. Yakovlev Yak-6 was a versatile twin-engine utility aircraft, built during World War II. Originally designed as a light night bomber, it relied on 2 engines. Reaching 230 km per hour, it safely delivered vital supplies. Yakovlev Yak-7 began its life as a 2-seat trainer, but was quickly converted into a rugged frontline fighter during World War II. It matched the Yak-1's speed of 560 km per hour, while proving resilient to damage. Yakovlev Yak-9 was the most heavily produced Soviet fighter aircraft of World War II, with over 16,000 built. Armed with heavy nose cannons, it topped 600 km per hour, allowing it to escort bombers deep into Europe. Yakovlev Yak-10 was a post-World War II light utility transport and liaison aircraft built in 1945. It featured a high-wing design reaching 200 km per hour. It laid the groundwork for the successful Yak-12. Yakovlev Yak-11 was a dedicated advanced trainer introduced in 1947 to prepare pilots for jet fighters. Utilizing a powerful radial engine, it reached a top speed of 460 km per hour as a premier trainer. Yakovlev Yak-12 was a highly reliable Soviet utility aircraft introduced in 1947. Fitted with an Ivchenko engine, it flew at 180 km per hour. It excelled at short-field medical and transport operations. Yakovlev Yak-14 was a massive military transport glider used by the Soviet Air Force starting in 1948. Built to carry heavy cargo, it had a payload capacity of 3.5 tons and was towed at 300 km per hour. Yakovlev Yak-17 was an early Soviet jet fighter developed just after World War II. Advancing from the Yak-15, it featured a sturdier tricycle landing gear. Reaching top speeds of 750 km per hour, it trained pilots. Yakovlev Yak-18 refers to the legendary tandem trainer that became the Soviet standard in 1947. Powered by a radial engine, it reached 248 km per hour. Yuri Gagarin learned how to fly in this model. Yakovlev Yak-18T is a four-seat fully acrobatic utility aircraft developed in the late 1960s. Powered by a robust 360 horsepower engine, it tops out at 300 km per hour for primary pilot training. Yakovlev Yak-24 was a unique twin-engine, tandem-rotor transport helicopter introduced in 1955. Nicknamed the Flying Railcar, it carried up to 30 paratroopers or 4 tons of cargo at 175 km per hour. Yakovlev Yak-25 was a specialized twin-engine interceptor deployed in 1955 to defend Soviet airspace. It carried a powerful radar nose and reached a top speed of 1,090 km per hour to counter bombers. Yakovlev Yak-27 was a supersonic reconnaissance and interceptor aircraft, derived in the late 1950s. Upgraded with potent turbojets, it achieved speeds of Mach 1.2, serving successfully in its high-altitude photo role. Yakovlev Yak-28 was a multi-role swept-wing combat aircraft that entered Soviet service in 1960. Powered by twin turbojets, this supersonic machine reached speeds of 1,840 km per hour in various roles. Yakovlev Yak-40 was the world's first three-engine regional jet airliner, entering service in 1968. Designed for unpaved Siberian airfields, it flew 32 passengers at 550 km per hour with rugged stability. Yakovlev Yak-42 is a three-engine mid-range commercial airliner introduced in 1980 to replace older turboprops. It carries 120 passengers at 810 km per hour, offering great airfield safety. Yakovlev Yak-50 was a high-performance, single-seat aerobatic trainer introduced in 1975. Powered by a 360 horsepower engine, it reached 400 km per hour to dominate world championships. Yakovlev Yak-54 is a two-seat aerobatic trainer designed in the 1990s for advanced sports flying. Powered by a radial engine spinning a three-blade prop, it hits 415 km per hour during intense maneuvers. Yakovlev Yak-55 was a dedicated single-seat competition aerobatic aircraft built in the 1980s. Its radial engine pushed it to 440 km per hour. It features thick, symmetric wings for crisp stall maneuvers. Yakovlev Yak-152 is a modern primary military trainer designed to integrate seamlessly with the Yak-130 jet. Powered by a unique diesel engine, it reaches a top speed of 500 km per hour for student training.